Oh, did we meet up? Heaven's even love. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine.
Not focused enough, but whatever. Don't even hesitate to say. There you go. Don't hesitate to say. Much more literary.
Whoever wants to be done in love, whoever wants to be done, whoever wants to be love, we're wrong,
I'm so shindig. Thank you. No bad at all.
I didn't know I had to text you, tweet you, anything.
Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. We want people fall in love. We want to love. We want love. We're
Aloha, everyone.
Aloha, everyone.
I see you.
I see you.
Welcome home, Reverend Rita.
Hey!
And if you're out there going, I never knew she went away, then we'll talk later.
We'll talk later.
But I do want to say something about some flowers that were brought here yesterday for you, and some that were brought here today. But these were brought yesterday from your husband, who wanted to say welcome home and thank you for your incredible.
How come I didn't see him?
Because I can't do things that you don't know about.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. For any first timers here, this is our beautiful Rev Rita, my beautiful wife.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Now what were you going to say?
I don't know.
So we're doing an announcement.
I'll have to process that one for a while.
She's making it sound like I've never given her a flower.
Anyway, okay, all right. So, first of all, we have a few announcements. Michelle is not here right now, so we're going to do those. Okay, so I'm reading. So, the Sacred Journey. There are still 2 spots left on you. All you people on there and online. There's 2 spots left, and then we're filled, and it starts on January 11th.
And what's so cool about this year, right, is that usually it's all the mainland, but this year we have half and half. Half the people from on island and half off, so people are setting aside their week to be totally nurtured and just wonderfied. That's my new word.
If you don't know what the Sacred Journey is, ask us later. Ask Reverend Diane and Sue Buckley, who are on our team, and Roseanne Jones and Rob. They know what it is, and they can explain it to you. Okay, so also this Wednesday, I'll be doing a one-night workshop on forgiveness. And
so we'll expect everyone here at around, what time, 6
to 8:30. I'm leaving 2.5 hours for it because it's a deep workshop, and so I want everybody to have enough time, and knowing that that's just the beginning, because forgiveness is a lifelong process. It's not something you just do in one night and get over with it. So, but it is, what I'm knowing I'm going to be able to do in this workshop is give you tools that you can take into your life and actually use on a daily basis. So that's planned for Wednesday at 6. And then on Friday is our annual holiday caroling at our house. And I left some little, what do you call them, little directions on the table there if you want to come. We do this every year. This is our 6th annual caroling. And we meet at our house, and then we go out into the streets and bring joy to everybody. And I think we
have a very cool street. It's a new street that's called Kaua'i.
I think we'll be able to go down to Sue and Diane's house too, right? Just right around the corner.
Also, there was somebody that said, I would come except I don't enjoy caroling. I said, really? Why? And they said, because I don't like to sing. I said, neither does half the people that come to our caroling. I mean, we're not about how well, other caroling events I've been to are like that. But this is all about just having fun and having the spirit of Christmas, not how well you're holding the note and joy to the world.
And it's good. It always turns out beautiful. And then you want to talk about that?
Power Talking from the Heart is something we've been doing for about the last 4 months. That's where we get people like you out there to come and we do little power talks. It's just an evening of Power Talks from the Heart. At this, we have Diane, our Reverend Diane, we have Stephanie, and then we have Meg. Meg will be here too. Thank you very much. But anyway, come. It starts at 6:30 to 8, and it's been really, really well received.
That's next week.
Next week. Not this week. December 19th.
And then I think we're calling you up, Reverend Diane.
Reverend Diane.
Do you have something to tell us?
A new outreach project here at the center.
Reverend Diane is our outreach minister. Hi, I'm Reverend Diane, your outreach minister.
Good morning, Kauai. How are you today? We're going to be facilitating a holiday food drive here at Center for Spiritual Living, and I hope you'll all consider contributing. This will benefit the Kauai Independent Food Bank, and you can bring food here every Sunday, and you can also make cash or check donations, and then they will mail you a receipt. And so if you prefer to do that, then please help us support the Ohana that is not necessarily in this room, but island-wide. I can't tell you how much they supported everyone after the floods this year. And we need to nourish them and rebuild their coffers so that we're ready for the everyday needs as well as the next natural blessing that comes to Kauai. And so I encourage you, please bring non-perishable items, especially protein items, which are in need. We grow so much fresh food here that it's the staples that everybody needs. So rice, tuna, lentils, all that good stuff. Please be generous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that, Reverend Diane. We appreciate it. Okay, so the other special thing that's happening, we have so many things this month, but I want to make you aware to have on your calendar that Christmas Eve we will have a candlelight service here. We do every year, and we hope you will join us. It will be, about an hour long, and we'll have meditation, music, and some readings and some message. Okay, so and it's at 6 to 7 on Christmas Eve. So please feel free to join us. And then spiritual living circles. This Wednesday, no, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, the 19th, these are all in your program, by the way. And, the reason I'm mentioning this is Rebecca DeRose, this will be her last spiritual living circle for us. She is going to discontinue them after this. So, unless somebody else wants to take them over in Kalaheo, come talk to Patrick or I. But the last one will be on December 19th from 4 to 5. And then again, we'll have another one in Princeville that Anna Myers facilitates. And like I said, all the information is in your program.
And last but not least, before we do our peace talk, I just want to briefly talk about membership. We're going to have our wonderful, we call it Get a Rose, before the member. And we do that on December 30th this year. And being a member, a lot of people are not clear, and also a lot of people think they already are members, and that's okay, because you're always a member of the family, but that's not the exact same thing as being a member of the center. And that doesn't mean anything except 3 things. One is that you commit to yourself, you commit to this ohana, mostly commit to yourself, and buy Rita and I a Corvette. That's really about all you need to do. You can sign up for that anywhere you want. You sign your name. The third one is this. Is really back to number one. Committing to here is just about committing to your family. And I want to take it more powerfully, more to my heart than a lot of people just, because all you really do is you sign the paper, we have a beautiful little ceremony for you, and that's wonderful. But I want you to know, it means something even deeper to us when you commit to being your family from that little tiny signature. But no one's coming after you, and I was kidding about the Corvette. Maybe.
No, it wasn't.
Alrighty, that's it. Give it up for the stand-ins for Michelle.
Oh, it's not, yeah. Okay, don't worry, we got it all covered. Okay. So.
It hasn't been that rough of a week.
All right, so let's just take a deep breath and recenter ourselves, get the announcements behind us, and get into the present moment. And let's take a moment to turn away from our minds, our busy minds, and move into our heart space. If it helps, just put your hand on your heart. And allow yourself to just take a few deep breaths, counting into 5, holding for 5. And letting go of 5. Let's take another one right from our heart. And as we slow our breath down, we're saying to ourselves, I am safe. I am safe. And as we move into our heart space, as we light our peace candle, we can bring up the emotions of compassion, gratitude, caring, appreciation, whatever emotion allows you to reside in that space. Just for a moment, as we send our ripple effect of peace out into the world. Let's take a moment of silence. And so in this moment, I know and recognize that peace is the heart of God, the heart of life, the heart of spirit that resides within each and every one of us. And in that place, I know that I can let my peace shine and create a ripple effect out into the world. And I know and claim that that is what we do right here and right now. And it is felt. It is felt in the heart. As I just take this beautiful, amazing moment and I let it go and I let it be so. As we affirm together. And so it is.
Thank you. I just realized that Michelle usually introduces us, so This is Reverend Rita, Reverend Patrick. And so if you're here for the first time, you're probably going, who are they? But who we are as the spiritual directors here and also the founders of CSL Kauai of almost 6 years. Wow. Woo! That's what we've done, my friends.
And if you don't know what Center for Spiritual Living Kauai is, it's a safe place to explore your spiritual self, which is who you are, your spirit. No matter what you're experiencing, the spirit is behind everything, and it's the power and presence of the divine that moves itself through us, all of us, and connects us all together in the one field of energy, the one field of love, the one field of peace and power. So thank you for being here today. So grateful, so grateful. And
Okay, so we have some special information about certain people in the room, and we'd like to share. But first of all, who's here for the first time? And please don't pretend like you're not here because we see you by your shelves. We see you by your shelves. Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome. I see some shelves back there. There we go. Okay, so we also have a name here. What is that?
Oh, Dr. Peggy brought this up.
Reverend Sue.
There's some Reverend Sue and Reverend Kevin? No, not a Reverend, a Mr. Reverend. A Reverend Sue from Columbia Unity, who are good friends with Peggy and Dawn. So welcome you, especially from Boulder, Colorado. You came to the warmth, Kauai.
well, it's kind of cold for us, I don't know.
And so, just so you know, that's not the only thing we know about. And so we'd like to share that we know something about you and you as well. I bet you're wondering how.
Everyone who's here for the first time.
So if you're here for the first time, shall we let them know what we know about him because it's been passed around? So let's just go.
You are magnificent!
Yes. What do you mean I know that? Who said that? Who said that? Well, we know that about you because do you know what I know? I know it about you because I know it about myself, and that's what we all know, right? So shall we all say it together?
I am magnificent!
Now, if you look behind you, you don't have to get up or anything, but there's a camera, and there's also a cameraman, and then there's Charles back there. Charles in yellow. How are you, my friend? And then Jonathan is right next to him. The whole tech division's there. And what that camera's doing is live streaming us out into the world. So just remember, what happens at CSL Kauai no longer stays at CSL Kauai. Because everyone, I do believe, everything we say is live streamed out there. And so we want to let them know who they are, shall we?
You are magnificent!
Now, if that wasn't enough, look to your left, to your right, look somewhere and let them know in person that they are magnificent. I love it. Maria's magnificent. Jacqueline
All
All right, let's hop on our magnificent feet and have an opening song. Good morning, Christina and Louise over there with the shirt. Let it shine.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine.
Wow, dance floors.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. No more living in fear. I'm gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And so right here and right now, I stay firmly grounded in the truth that spirit, life, God, it's all that there is moving and living and breathing, is eternal, and it moves through each of us in our own particular way, in all its amazement and glory and power. And I know and claim that today we come here to celebrate that, to live that, to acknowledge it, to recognize it in even a greater, more expansive way. So I bless this service and I bless everything about it. I know that it is a perfect unfoldment of Spirit through each and every one of us for the perfection of each and every one of us in our life's journey. So I just claim it as being beautiful and amazing, and I am filled with love right now as I take this word that I have spoken. I release it into law and I let it be so as we affirm together, and so it is.
All around the world, we're gonna let it shine. All around the world, we're gonna let it shine. All around the world, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
And your lights are beautiful this morning. Your radiant lights in this kind of gray day, and here we are to illumine the world with all of our consciousness. I'm Reverend Dr. Peggy Price, and I have the honor of being up here this morning to share with you a seed thought and some time in the silence. The message title for today was about knowing and knowing that we know. And I kept thinking of this wonderful quote which speaks to that, because Spirit is always within us, that divine nudge, that divine blessing, that knowing when we listen. These words of Frederick Beekman take us into that time within. He says, "The place God calls you is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet." I'll say it again. The place God calls you is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. So I invite you to just go within right now into that time of silence and think about how that applies in your life. Your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger. purified field of pure love in which we live and have our being. In the awareness of our oneness with all of life. In our awareness of that which beats our heart, breathes our breath, the gift of life itself. We join in that consciousness together. That space of pure wonderment and pure knowing, where we expand our minds, where we expand our consciousness, where there are no limits in the mind of God, and therefore no limits in our life expressions. We join together on this beautiful day in this beautiful space, with our hearts open, our hearts filled with gladness, that deep gladness of knowing that alignment we have with the divine presence. And so as we move through this time together this morning in this ohana that we call CSL Kauai, each of us has brought our own presence here, for we have been called here today to join together in love, in consciousness, in peace, in order to be that in the world, to know that together we are shaping a world that works for everyone. What a powerful gift that is. And so whatever may be on your heart today, just know that this is a healing space. This is a place of comfort and safety, and a place of expanding our consciousness into that infinite field of possibility. And so knowing all of this and blessing everyone who has made this day what it is, we simply give thanks for it. And for all the blessings, and even for those things that are wrapped up in not such pretty packages, to know that there is still a light and still a gift within them. And as we give thanks for this, we simply say, we release it and say together, and so it is.
Thank you, Dr. Peggy. Thank you, Maria Christina. Okay, so, yeah, I've been gone for about, I don't know, the time has just kind of taken on a new dimension the last couple of weeks. For those of you not aware, Reverend Patrick and I lost a very dear, like our best friend's daughter, passed away. She was in a terrible accident a couple weeks ago, and finally let go on Thursday night. That was last Thursday night, whenever that was the night. But anyway, so I've been on the mainland just with my friends and holding space for them. And I am just wanting to let you know right now how much I appreciate, and I know Patrick does too, the space that was held here during this time, because it was, I could just feel it, and it assisted me helping me to do what I needed to do there, which was to hold space for everyone else. So thank you for holding the space for me. And it's interesting because just that Sunday that Nora had the accident was Patrick and I were sitting at the table, after service that Sunday, I think it was, and we were just talking about how we wanted to go deeper and how this wasn't enough. And we need to go deeper, and we were just like claiming, we're gonna go deeper, just bring it on, you know? And so, yeah, right? So, then that's what ended up, and I take that as a call to go deeper, and that's what it's doing, it's a call to go deeper. And I was listening to Dr. James speak today at his center, because he didn't miss a beat. I mean, as far as I facilitated as a presider at his center last Sunday, but he did speak. And so did her twin brother, Will, who spoke, and you can listen to that online if you want. But I was listening to him this morning, and he said, because they sang that song by Dan and Ahmad, something's calling it, you know, to go deeper. And he said, sometimes, he goes, you dive in to go deeper, he said, but sometimes you get pushed. And so I feel like that's what happened, because you could say, I'm diving into life to go deeper. And sometimes Spirit goes, you know what, I'm going to push you in now, and you get pushed. And then you have the choice to swim or sink, you know. And my choice is to swim. And I understand there's been a lot of sorrow in the last year, maybe more, of just, it seems like a continual loss that's been happening for all of us in different events. And I don't understand, you know, why people leave, and I just know that everybody's on their own journey, and that I know for myself, I want to see this through. I want to be here for whatever's occurring and be a light in the world. So I'm claiming that for myself right now, and I guess we all get that choice, and that is what our teaching is all about. It is about choice, and we don't always understand, and maybe we don't say to ourselves, you know, oh, I'm going to go do this today, and then something happens, but there's a place within us that this is a universe of balance and order. And everything in it is balanced and ordered. It has to be, or our teaching is a sham, and I know that it's not. And I know, as Reverend James, Dr. James said last Sunday, is I'm in a million pieces, but the thing that's never been shaken is my faith. And I have, he said, there's something holding the pieces together, and that's what I rely on right now. And so I can fall apart, and I can fall into a million pieces, and know that I'm being held in that space by the backing of Spirit. So, I named our talk, Do You Know What I Know Today? Because what I know is that we all have to come to these understandings and knowings ourselves. Ernest Holmes wrote, spiritual experience is a fact. Spirituality may be defined as an atmosphere of good, the realization of God. It cannot and does not borrow its light from another, no matter how great or noble that other may be. It springs from within, coming from that never-failing fountain of life, which quenches every thirst, whose source is in eternity, the wellspring of self-existence. It is a revelation of the self to the self, putting one back on the track of his own self-dependence on Spirit, his own at-one-ment or atonement with reality, capital R. So I want to just focus on that idea that we can't borrow our light from another person. We can borrow it for a short period, but eventually we're going to have to have our own light. We're going to have to bring our own light up, and we can give people strength. Like, I couldn't do anything for Reverend James and Kevin, his husband, and I couldn't do anything besides be there as light. I couldn't give them my light. They had to they're finding their own light right now. And I know and claim that that's what we all get to do whenever we're challenged, is that our light comes forward and burns brightly for us in whatever way we need it. And I know that it does, because I've experienced it over and over and over again, that there is a light within us that when we allow it to be there, it will hold us up no matter what we are experiencing. And it will guide and direct our path. It does. So, but it comes down to this. And I'm really going to reiterate it today, because we're living in very difficult times. And I'm just going to really invite every one of us to find our way to be prayed up. I think Patrick talked about this last week. To be prayed up, meaning that we find our own spiritual truth, our own light. Should we choose? We don't have to. I mean, we can just go along and with the punches of life and just, dip and, and flounder and everything. Or we can say, you know what? I can find my own spiritual tools. It doesn't have to be this teaching. It's anything that works for you. But it has to be, you have to take it and you have to work it. And I know that the reason I can even stand up here today, thinking of my dear little Nora, and her not being here right now, is because I'm prayed up. Because I can go and I can cry and I can do all that stuff, I can stand my feet, I can scream and yell and do all of that, but I'm still prayed up. And behind it all, I know the truth. And the truth is, and it's not something I can give to you. It's not something I can make you believe. But it's something that I know. And what I know is life is eternal. I feel it. It's visceral. I don't know what the word is. It's just within me. I know it. And I know we all have that same place. And some of us have experienced things and know it already, right? And for those of us that feel that we don't, I just know that we're all capable of knowing it. And that I try to give like explanations, and I hear people giving explanations of why Nora left. I have no idea, like I said before, why she's gone. I have no idea. But I know behind it all there has to be some kind of order and some kind of something. And what I've seen happen from it is people from all over the world that don't even know her rising up in this light of love that she is and still is. So I don't know, and I see people giving explanations, trying to give explanations, and there really is no explanation. And what I've come to is peace. A peace in not totally understanding it. I found when I was really upset, I sunk into not understanding, if that makes sense. Like not understanding, and it was okay to not understand it. It was okay. Oh my God, all of a sudden this wellness like came over me of a peace, of just being able to say, I don't have to understand everything, but I can trust and have faith that I will understand in the right time. I will. Sometimes we take our lives and we project forward all these things that can happen to us when we get older or whatever, when we go here, when we travel there, what are we doing? But if we'll just understand the spirit, the life force that we are, the knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom of spirit is there for us. And it comes at the right time, in the right place, exactly when we need it. And I rely on that. I rely on knowing that no matter where I'm going in my life, that is going to be there. It might show up in the form of another person that comes in and holds me. It can show up by somebody saying something to me or picking up a piece of reading. It can show up in so many ways, but it's always there. I know I am always taken care of, and I know and claim that for each and every one of us. And there was a time in this process when we got the news last, 2 Sundays ago, that she had been in this accident and she probably wasn't going to make it. And boy, did we pray. We put a thing out to the practitioner corps. We went through this whole thing of we can bring her back, we can bring her back, we can bring her back. And we just, we prayed hard. I'm telling you, we prayed really hard. We had so much willpower in that prayer that, we're going to bring you back, Laura, we're going to bring you back. And then for a slight time, she started to come back. And then all of a sudden, she did not. But what I know about that is that we can't bring another person back. We can't do that. It's not in our power because everybody has their own journey. Remember when Jesus went to the tomb? I remember the story, whether it's real or true, I believe it is. And they called him to bring Lazarus forth, and he was like pissed off because he was like, I don't want to go do this. But they want to see me do this, so I'll go do it, all right? And he went and did it. But I think what he was saying is, it's not really my job to bring someone else back, So that was a big lesson. That was a big lesson. It didn't mean our prayers weren't good enough. Our prayers were great, and our prayers did exactly what they needed to do, and our prayers really were for divine right action in place. We just got into that willpower thing once where you want things to be different. You don't want to lose people you love. We're humans in that way, So anyway, but that was interesting. And then I also found out, I'm telling you all these things because they're all the things I learned on this journey just this past week, that it's all about us. Even as I'm speaking now, it's all about me. Is it really about Nora? No, it's about me and my reaction to it. Every single person that reacted to this, it was all about them. In whatever way they reacted, I saw themselves coming forward, what they believed, what they felt. It was really, listen carefully when somebody tries to help you with something. It's all about them. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's what the journey is. It's all about us, right? We want to make it about the other person, but in reality, it's all about us. So, yeah, that was like really it's a no-brainer. And the other thing I understood, and it's so fascinating because before this happened, and we have our Science of 9100 class, which we just finished. Oh my God, what a great class! I just want to give them. They were amazing, all of them, and they'll be having their little graduation ceremony soon, since we get their certificates. But isn't it ironic? Not ironic. It's spirit. It's like I said, spirit showing up. That the week that this happened, the chapter was on immortality. And I'm telling you, it just shows up. It just shows up, and then the month was about joy, which, I mean, come on, guys. How do we feel joy in the process of tragedy and grief? But we have to. So, wow, what a week. And I'm sure it's just like, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And if I had to say anything, I would say that, what do I know? My mentor, James, used to say, I know nothing. Now what can I know? So I think that's what the journey's about, all our journeys. It is really about knowing nothing, and knowing nothing, and then finding out what we can know. And so I think this journey is just beginning. For me, again, their theme at their center is rebirth. And I think we have the opportunity to be reborn every day into that not knowing and to just open up to know more. So I'm just grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for you guys. I have to just say thank you, thank you, thank you a million times over. And just keep your consciousness in that place of love, because love is the one thing that trumps everything. Love does hold us when we're in situations like this, and if we can just fall back into it and allow ourselves to be that love, because we don't even have to allow ourselves to be, we just have to sink into it. It's there, that's who we are, and it is the great healer. Love is the great healer, and I'm not talking about Valentine's. That's one thing he said, one day he said to me, you gotta tell him what love is. I don't know, you're gonna have to figure out what love is, but I know it's not a Valentine. Love is who you are, and love holds us in space, in that space, whenever we require it, because it's the beingness of who we are. We are love, God is love, we are God. So, mahalo, nui loa, I am so grateful, and I'm sure I'll have more to say another time, but right now, that's it, guys. So, thank you.
Hey!
Maria Christina.
believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Yeah. 'Cause I believe in me. If I just spread my wings, I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly.
Do you believe you can fly? I know you do. I know you do. Oh. So today, we are going to talk about joy. Joy to the world is our theme. Joy to the world. I was telling my confidant, the man in yellow back there before I went on. I was telling him that I loved it, and Rita's the same way. We like to share our process because we live by example, not just by theory and by what it says in the good books. The good books. We live by example, and that's at least what I wake up to want to do every day. And so I was thinking about this talk, I had all these great quotes, and then all of a sudden I went, nah. And I said, well, when I wake up today, I'll know exactly what has to happen. And so I sat at the computer and screamed because nothing was happening. So I just went in, I meditated, and I said, okay, this would be a good time. And then this spirit inside of me says, you got all the time in the world, man. You're not even at the center yet. And so I said, what I want to talk about, because what I was avoiding was talking about joy. Because I felt it really wasn't in good taste. Wasn't in good taste, right, at this particular time. And so I said, you need to stop that. Because how many of you know our beautiful Brene Brown, one of my favorites. She has Joe Dispenza, I have Brene Brown, and I love her. Because she's got humor. And what she is she's a researcher, professor, gone motivational speaker, thanks to Oprah. And thanks to TED Talk. Actually, that's where it started. And she talks about foreboding joy. And that's what I want to talk about today. So you might say, because I really wrestled with this for quite a while. What's this mean, foreboding joy? And even this morning I wrestled with it until all of a sudden, it was just hit me. Like I have never been hit before. And a revelation just came over me and I started seeing one example after another how I have foreboded joy. And what we mean by that is there's this thing about joy, and she says that joy is one of the most frightening things that we have. Now, how interesting when that seems to be all we're asking for. I want to be in joy. I want to have happiness. I want to have this. And yet, sometimes it's the thing we avoid like a plague. And the reason we do that is why I'm standing up here. Because I'm going to let you know how we forebode joy. It says, this is what foreboding joy. It means we fear joy because we worry it means something bad is going to happen because something good has just happened. Oh, can I hear amen? I can feel you. All of a sudden I can just feel them. They're like, ooh, it's called the rumble. The rumble when I first start, it's like I don't throw it all on you at one time. I just kind of pick it up. Then you go, ooh, oh yeah. He's going. So I was telling Charles today that by the time you get done, you guys will be fastening your seatbelts when you find out what the heck we have been doing with joy. The belief that something has to counteract our good. Woo! I know when I was little, my mom said, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. Because you know something bad's right around the corner. And if you think that is, wait till the other shoe drops. Woo! You're wearing that nice shoe. Here it comes. Like that. Oh my God. Inside. Who would think that we would be avoiding joy? Because here's another thing. We stay in neutral sometimes with not wanting to be disappointed. Here's the neutral. Gonna buy a house. Yeah. Certainly am. Probably working all right. Going out on a date, yeah. On the 19th. Yeah. Well, maybe this is the one. Maybe. I don't know about you, but I'm about as filled with joy as a snail going across what might be a joy, but because it's taking it slow. But this just started, I'm getting all these revelations this morning. I went, this is impossible, man. I teach good. I facilitate joy. What do you mean we're avoiding it? Because we're avoiding it because, and I just love this, is that they say, enjoy the good today because it may be gone tomorrow. It may be gone. Well, isn't that a happy thought? And here's, and I don't know who came up with it, but I'm not going to look for them because we're going on with it. Here's the other thing. Enjoy the good today because it may be gone tomorrow? Well, here's the problem with that. None of you are enjoying the good today because if you're worried about it's not going to happen tomorrow, then I don't know how you can enjoy your dinner. And I was saying this. Bless my little Nora, my new teacher. She's a new teacher. They had their last Thanksgiving because they didn't know it was the last. And my thought was this. Just to think about it. If they had known it was their last, how would that dinner have been? And I'm going to break something to you real slow. I'm not positive it would be joyful. And I said, because I love making stuff up, so I said, what if you were at a dinner and you got the voice above, even though we don't believe in an outside God, it said, one of you will not be here. Now continue with your dinner. Because then what would happen is we would be once again worried and stressed about what the dinner was going to be like, and then looking at each other thinking, is it you? Is it you? Hope it's not me. Or hope it's me, not you. I mean, we're foreboding joy, my friends. And it goes even deeper. I'm thinking to myself, I was holding my little cat. Here's a cat story. It's lovely. We have our little baby, Krishna, and I'm holding him next to my chest. He's giving me a little, hey Dad, how's it going, Dad? I give him a voice as well. I don't know how he sounds with the name Krishna. I doubt it. It's, hey Dad. But that's a whole other story about my Indian background. And this is what's happening. See, there's joy, man. We're laughing on this thing. So I'm holding him, and I'm thinking, oh my God, another little cat, Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty. She's got an accent too, but she's underneath the tree, and I'm holding her, thinking, this is so wonderful. It's so safe. It's so Christmassy. What happens if it gets killed? Oh, don't judge me. Because you've all been there. They talk about the parents, right? You're looking at your little child lying there. And you're sitting there thinking, this is the best moment in the world. I couldn't love any more than this. Foreboding joy. We set ourselves up. We set ourselves up. And here's the other thing. And I know nobody in this room, but I'm going to tell you about the move to Kauai. Everybody loves moving to Kauai. Then you spend 3 years in guilt for being here while everybody else is gone. Rumble, rumble. Now that doesn't mean everybody in the room, just half of you. That's all. And I'm going to tell you what that means. That means I'm living in Kauai and my dream come true. What if something happens? It's not maybe completely out in the front, but it's either conscious or unconscious. And I think we've all shared that. And if you haven't shared it, then I'll talk to you. You can get up here next week. Because this is what I'm saying about foreboding joy. We stay in a state of not too excited just in case something happens. And then here's the other thing. When something does happen, see? I told you so. Man, I was on the happy train, and I was moving, grooving. I rest my case. This is what happened. I rest my case. So how do we get out of it? Because you're right now in between joy and depression. And I would like to reach with you guys right now. And I love this. Brene Brown says the universe is not short on wake-up calls. We're just quick to hit the snooze button. Now you see why I love her. She's funny. She's all of these things. Because what she's trying to say is that we are constantly in a dress rehearsal for tragedy. Oh, now another rumble, right? Let me just say that again. What does that mean? I had to listen to it a million times. I'm going, Brene, I love you, but I think you're off the track on this one. No, it's not. I just told you. I'm loving my little cat, and I'm dress rehearsing. Something might happen to him, so I'm not in the moment of joy. So I can't be so joyful, and I can't be filled with joy, because what if something happens? My God, we cannot live that way. We have to declare joy and say that I will live joy full force. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean being happy all the time? No. It means that when we're in pain, oh my God, pain has gotten such a bad rap. We act like it's something to fear, to run from, and that's why it's so painful. That's why it's so painful instead of embracing it like Reverend James. I don't know how the hell he's doing it right now. But he's embracing it, saying, I have no idea what's happening here, and he's right on the verge of it, but he's going, I know there's something to know deeper. And I know for a fact that there is no way that the spirit, that energy of Nora is saying, you know, Patrick, I just want you to do me one favor. Stop with the funny. No more humor. And I just want you to, to be morbid for the rest of your life because of this. And I'm going to say it. It's okay to be joyful. That was my week. You guys had me last week. This was this week. It's okay to declare happiness. Every man, Ralph Waldo Emerson says, every man is a divinity in disguise. A god playing the fool. Wow, it doesn't get any better. Or does it? So here's my answer about joy. I found joy today and this week in my pain. And this is really how I'm going to leave you. Maybe. Yeah, I am. How did I find joy in my pain? I was so joyful to be alive, to feel this pain, to love so deeply that I could feel the pain. And so we spend our times running from it, when all pain is asking is, hear me, hear me. I have something to tell you. But you don't feel good, pain. You have to do a little self-talk with pain. You feel like crap, man. Get out of here. Bring me back my daughter. Bring me back my home that was burnt in the fire. Bring me back my husband. Bring me back this. Bring me back whatever. So the joy that you feel is to sit there and say, what do you want? And watch the embrace of joy and pain. And then here's the good news. I watched it while I was sitting there sobbing and going, wow. I could feel pain and joy become one. And I didn't know the difference. I didn't know the difference because I had such judgment about pain, such judgment about things not working out, that I forgot. I forgot that pain is just a reminder that we are so alive. I would much rather be in pain than to be neutral, to stand in the middle and say, no, I will not feel. And here's about the dress rehearsal. You never get away from the performance. And Brene Brown says that you keep thinking, I'll dress rehearse this pain over and over again. And any of you, and I know you in this room, that has ever experienced this kind of pain, you could have dressed rehearsed your entire life and it would never, ever be different for that moment. And so one day, I do know, one day, and it can be today, that I will stop judging my emotions. That I will stop judging them as this is good and this is bad. Now I'm happy so we can talk. I'm now happy so I can enter the doors of Happyville, CSL Kauai. Enter the doors weeping, sobbing, it's okay. There'll be cake afterwards. I love you. Here's some questions I asked myself, and you can take them with you if you want. I asked just out of the blue, I said, what will it take for you, Patrick, to take full ownership of your joy? What will it take? What will I have to let go of, forgive, and allow for me to reclaim my Godship and my joy? How will I need to love in order to take off my mask and reveal my divinity to all who look upon me? I saw this on Facebook, and I'm sorry, and maybe Dr. Peggy will even know him. He's in the movement, but he lost his son, and they were talking about his son. And this was what his son was known for, this question. How are you going to love your way out of this one? How are you going to love your way out of this one? This is a doozy. Haven't you ever felt that in your life? You're going through something, you go, oh, this is the doozy. It can never get more than this. And you have to ask yourself, how are you going to love your way out of this? So it is joy to the world, my friends. This is a beautiful journey that we're all sharing, that we can have the opportunity to come together and laugh and cry and stomp up our feet up and down. Except I've never really done that. And I want to know how you would really react to me if I came up there and I stomped my feet up and down and then started having kind of a little tantrum here. I'm kidding. I love you and I enjoy being enjoyed. So all I have to say is how, no matter what's going on in your lives, whatever's going on, whatever it is, how are you going to love yourself out of it? How are you going to love yourself? Namaste. I was kidding. It's kind of like a revolving. Oh.
All right. So this is our time of giving. I want to say thank you. It's been a beautiful year for Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, and your donations are always so deeply appreciated. And wow, this center has thrived on donations only for 6 years now, and so yeah, people think somebody came over and fairy godmothers and said, here's a whole lot of money. No, that's not what happened. We all built this center together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Mahalo. So there is an affirmation in the program, and we're going to read it together. And it goes like this. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth. knowing my gift goes with love and touches Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life and the world, and it does. So it is. Thank you. I think we have a song.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
The word gratitude, the word grateful, is such a blessing word. And as we expand that gratitude, we expand our abundance. We live in an abundant universe, and this is an abundant community. We are so blessed with everything. And we are blessed by these gifts today and the way in which they have been given from the heart, because we value CSL Kauai. So we bless these gifts as they go across the world. We're giving thanks for it all. We simply say,
All right.
The children are coming in. In the meantime, we can bring up the practitioners.
Yeah, let's bring up the practitioners that are serving today. Reverend Diane, Dr. Penny, are you serving today? Yeah. Anyone else? Any other practitioners? Rob back there will be up here in a moment. Roseanne, are you serving today? Yeah. Okay. All right, so one of the things that helped me through this experience, that helps me through my whole life, is spiritual mind training. It is so powerful. And it just sets you right straight on spirit. The moment the word is spoken, it just opens up the avenue of light. So if something's come up for you during the service today, if something you want to know more about in your own life, just please, you have this opportunity to meet with a practitioner for a prayer only. If you need a counseling session, that's something totally different you can speak to us about. But they will come on up and give you a beautiful spiritual mind treatment to help assist you. And I see a lot of kids coming up here right now, so. Oh my God, come on up.
The reason I made such a big to-do out of that, last night we were looking at these pictures of the old youth center and they did this exact same exercise. Wow. That is...
Wow, okay, this takes explaining.
Is it for me? Good morning. Yes, we had a very, very full room. But these guys did awesome in a small space. And we were talking about ever expanding. We read All I See Is Part of Me, and we made some chains. That represented ever expansion. We talked about that we could sit and make add forever, and compare that to our lives. Did anybody want to say something?
Today I made this garland, and I made this little fidget toy thing.
I did the paper all by myself.
Anybody else have something to say? No? All right, well, we'll say something to you then. All right? Go ahead. Go for it, congregation. See your program. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. Yes, we do. Dennis, thank you. Yay. All right. By the way, you guys did a great job on that holiday party when you were all singing. I was so blessed by that. Okay. So I think we're ready, right? Any other things that have not been covered? I think everything's covered. All right.
So shall we?
Yes, let's do it. Let's close out. Everybody rise up. Hold hands if you'd like. This is actually a song that's always sung at Centers for Spiritual Living, but we don't sing it very often, so let's take advantage of it. And during the holidays we sing it. We change the words a little bit, so try to be conscious.
With love as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with thee. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
And as we continue this wondrous shaking back and forth, what I know right here and right now is that there is peace within, which guarantees us the peace without. And so what I know about that is we have come together on absolute purpose today, and I am so grateful for the opportunity to claim joy as that divine force that is our very being. And I thank those wonderful announcement givers, the Revs, Rita and Patrick. And I thank Angela, Elizabeth, and who was our third? Star. Yes, and Star. And our wonderful Dr. Peggy. So, wow. We're very impromptu here at CSL Kauai because we're grateful for that as well. And so we have our wonderful Roseanne who does so many things, but the bookstore is up and running. And next week there's going to be a few little wonderful, delicious items to buy for the holiday. Yes, boutique. And then Ron Stover and his team back there who make sure that it happens every week. And Charles back there, what we better call is the man in yellow. And we love him, and we have our live streaming with Rob Jones and Jonathan Lee and Charles, who is in absolute training. And is this Jai Flowers here? Loya. And then these flowers, not from Patrick, that we'll be discussing later about these flowers with the beautiful Reverend Rita and Maria Christina and Luis, who continue to keep that beat going for us all the time. Our abundance counters, Donna and Stephanie, and to everybody off island and on island and all around the entire globe, thank you for your support of CSL Kauai. And all you newcomers, this happens every week just like this. So just let you know, please come back and join us. So knowing that we are filled with gratitude and joy, we just let it be. We let it go, as together we say. And so it is.
Just take each moment and live each moment and